People won't show for this.
Now everybody stops talking.
You'll trim off the extra stuff before you post it, right?
Donald, did you get the little thing, all the little flyers that I sent you, all the little,
Yes, I got those all lined up to go.
thank you. And then you'll share them in the chat as
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
figured
as you talk-
I can't multitask that much.
Yeah, as you talk about them, I'll put those in the chat, so we'll have them
Okay, thank you.
there.
So yeah, if I say something and you want to take a screenshot or download whatever I'm talking about, you can see it in the chat. Well, I guess we should start. I am going to do my little spiel since it's the first meeting of 2024. And welcome everybody. And this club is sponsored by the town of Fairfax and the Artist in Resident program. And I am one of 3 artists in residence, and it's my job to bring art to Fairfax. And this club is one of my projects within the program, and it's free thanks to Park and Rec. The only thing my boss asks of me is that you tell me what city or town you're from, city and state. So if you can, everybody can just put that in the chat right now. Every month we take roll, and I have to send the numbers to my boss.
How'd you do the chat?
What was that?
No, I was talking to myself looking for the chat. I found it.
We've been going strong now for over a year, I think about a year and a half. And thanks to all of you who've been with us since the beginning. And one thing I want to mention is that I have never personally attended a photo club before, and our formula seems to be working. But if you have some fun suggestions for the group, please bring those ideas to me, or you can send them to Terry or Donald. They are our official field trip coordinators. And one of the things our club offers is a very fun Facebook page. And to find that, you just search for the Fairfax Photo Club, answer the question, I'll let you in. You can post up to 3 times a day. And I want to clarify, you can post an album, and that counts as one. So you can have multiple photos in that album, or you can just post 3 separate images or posts. You can request a critique from your peers, you can ask questions, or just post your work. And each month we have a photo challenge, and we announce that at the very end of the meeting. I hope you can use these as an opportunity to get out and actually shoot. Lots of people like to post old photos, but I encourage you to get out and take photos, especially if you're inspired by our monthly speaker. Okay, here's our first chat thing. We have a YouTube channel. So if you're not on Facebook, you can see the speakers that we've had by hopping on to our YouTube channel. And Donald's going to throw that into the chat right now, that link. As you all know, we have different speakers each month. Oh, here comes our next flyer. Next month will be an old friend of mine who happens to be here tonight, and that's Robert Vente. He is a brilliant photographer, and the 2 of us have done several presentations together many years ago, and I hope that you're going to come check him out because his work is amazing. I will now hand the floor. Oh, wait a minute. Terry's not here. Where's Terry? Darn it.
And neither is Judy Barnett. Let me text her.
Wi-Fi.
Okay, so Terry has put together a field trip for us. Do you want to share the screen for a moment, Donald, with that flyer? So I can read it. Or I can do it real quick. Bear with us, a moment of silence. There we go. I'm going to share.
Again, pencil and paper. I'm gonna write down the date.
Okay, here, if you want to take a screenshot, this, oops, no, that's the wrong flyer. Hang on, bear with me. Stop share. Wait. Here we go.
Take a picture of it.
You're gonna do a screenshot?
Here we go. All right, Terry has planned a Sausalito Twilight Walk, and that is February 9th, 4 o'clock. And I want to point out, this is our first field trip where it's not at crack of dawn, and we would get a very low attendance because lots of you don't like to wake up early. So all the info is here. Any questions, contact Terry. And I think after we're going to go either get some food or get a drink or something. So something social. Everybody have that info?
Yep.
It's also going to be in the chat.
It'll be on Facebook as well, I trust.
Yes, yes, all of this will be. All right, and I want to mention another thing, and oh, good God, here we go. I'm gonna we just had to record this part, huh? One of our members is having a show. So if you happen to be in Point Reyes or you want to go to Point Reyes to support one of your fellow photography members, photo club members, Cindy Davis, we all met her when her husband, Todd Pickering, showed his work. So this is Cindy's first show.
That's about it.
And we should all
Very nice.
try to go and support her.
It's a beautiful show. I recommend that you go.
Did you see it?
I did. I went to the reception
Oh,
and it
wish I
was
had.
really nice.
Bet.
Stop by on the way to Drake's Beach.
There you go. Go stop, see her show, and then go photograph the seals. All right, I think we are now to our second announcement, and we're going to hand the floor over to Jan Bell. And he's going to
Hello,
share.
everyone.
Hello.
Some of you might recognize me from, I forget what month. I did an artist talk with the Fairfax group. And I wish I could be there. It's a lot warmer there than here. We had a wind chill of -26 a few days ago. So that wouldn't be so bad if there were snow. I tend to love snow, but
Where are you?
I'm in Ohio near Cleveland. And my wife just sent me a text a moment ago that the town where I grew up is going to be exactly in the center of the eclipse coming on April 18th. So we're going to be going down there and having a party, I guess. So anyhow, I asked if I could come back and talk about my workshop. I'll be quick. I have a few slides here to show the location and some of the places where I take my workshop participants. It's a beautiful area. We spent a week at Rock Island Lodge, which is actually a peninsula that sticks out into Lake Superior. I've spent a lot of time on Lake Superior every year for the past 40 years, sometimes twice a year. It is as grand in its own way as what the West Coast is. And I've spent a long time along the West Coast also. So you are all fortunate to be out there and be able to go to Drake's Beach. So anyhow, I'll share the screen now. So like I said, this is, can you all see this?
Yes.
Okay, the annual workshop. I thought I would just show a couple images that came from that area. This is one of my favorite locations on Lake Superior, Michipicoten First Nation, and I have an agreement with the First Nation people to bring my workshop participants here. I've just spent a lot of time here sitting and soaking up the quiet solitude. Definitely a favorite place. And not far from there is a stream that descends down to the lake, and just beyond this image are a series of islands, and there's an old pier down there where I take the workshop participants. And 2 years ago, we had total fog the day after the workshop. So my assistant and I went out, and this is an area where I've been to many times. In fact, I waded out to this island. It's called Bathtub Island because there is a pool behind the rock. There's a little area where the water comes in, and it gets much warmer than Lake Superior because it's a shallow pool of water. But the fog just made for a very serene image that particular day. A capture in that area that I showed you earlier. There's a lot of volcanic activity along the shoreline. We spent a lot of time in Lake Superior Provincial Park. It's a 45-mile corridor that extends along the coast. The water is crystal clear. Sometimes the waves are insanely huge. Sometimes, of course, it's calm. But there is no salt, which is really nice because when I was working on the West Coast, a few years ago, after 12 weeks of consecutive shooting day after day, the camera needed a bit of repair from the salt damage. The same area, I've stood in some pretty deep waves right here as they came in and flowed out. And I do a lot of long exposure work, all black and white. So again, this is a favorite location, an area called the Sand River. Someone photographing during the workshop, another person working, sitting on, on a ledge there. This is an area referred to as the Agawa pictographs. These pictographs are from the last century, but they're holding up very well. A view from the lodge. Being here is just a sublime experience, spending a week at this location. For me, the location, the lodge, and the shooting locations and the workshop lessons and the one-on-one training that goes along with that just makes for an ideal workshop. And another view of the lodge. And this is the meeting room. It looks right out onto Lake Superior. And I have, I think it's a 10 or 12 page handout that I can send to any of you that are interested that explains the workshop in detail. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I'd love to see you there. I know it's a long way from California, but I've never lived in California, but I've spent a year and a half of my life in California shooting. So I love them both, and I'd love to have you join me in Ontario, Canada. So anyone have any questions?
How's the food?
The food is incredible. It really is. They cater to people who are vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free diets, and they bring that all together really well. We had some outstanding meals this past year. This will be the 5th year for the workshop, and I already have 4 people registered, so there are 8 slots, so that obviously leaves 4 more. It shows my brilliant math skills. So yeah, it'd be great.
Did you say the pictographs are only 100 years old?
They were done in the last century. Offhand, I don't know when they were done in particular, but there are a lot of them along Lake Superior. Some of them you can only see.
I just think a salt environment would be kind of hard on things lasting there.
The what?
I'd think the salt environment would be hard on things holding up there.
Your West Coast. This is Lake Superior, so no salt. It's just fresh
When
water.
you're shooting with your camera with the salt was different. Got it.
Oh yes, that was the West Coast where I spent 12 weeks, 1 year working out there. So I'm going to be back in the fall. I want to take a trip through the Southwest and again hit the Pacific Coast. Maybe work for 8 to 10 weeks this time. But before that, I'm going to Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. So do work up in there, May and June.
So make sure you post that in the Facebook page too, as well, if you have a.
Oh, okay, sure. But
I have a question for you, which is, do you do this commercially? You actually sell your prints? Is that how you make your living?
Yes. I worked for PBS. I was a graphic design director for 31 years. And the last 10 years, well, I went to Macworld for 16 years. And during that time, I fell in love with California. Each time I would spend an extra week or 2 photographing. So I was fortunate that I could blend the career of PBS with what I'm doing now. But it is a business. I've been retired for 10 years, I believe now. But I'm working harder now than I ever did. And it's a true passion. Received an Ansel Adams Award a few years ago.
Oh, wow. And
if you look at my my webpage and the shows and award section, I just can't believe where I'm. It's been an incredible journey. And at this point in my life, I just like to give back and help people achieve their goals. And I realize everyone's not going to shoot exactly like I do, but I'm there to show you how I do what I do and help you do what you do. And when we're on location, I'm not shooting, I'm helping each of you
Mm,
To me, composition is number one, because if you don't have a good composition, you really don't have anything to work with. So
true,
I
true.
really stress composition.
Do you print your own prints when you sell
I
them?
do. In fact,
Oh,
right
good.
here. Yes. The nice
Yeah, I
thing is,
saw that. I saw the printer, yeah. Is that an Epson or is that? Canon?
yes. Yeah, I can print any hour. I've been on the computer too many hours today, and my eyes are burning. I don't know if you
Sorry.
noticed, but
No, I won't ask any more questions.
no, it's fine. I love questions. I love talking, and I'm sure Stephanie is wanting to cut me off because I think I've had my 5 minutes. But
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, I won't
okay,
ask any more.
but
Yeah,
it would. I mean, it would be a different experience for all of you to be on Lake Superior. Like I said, it's every bit as grand as the Pacific Coast, just different. And you can see I have a multitude of photos on my website, bellimages.com. So you could take a look at the work there. And
And you also have your prices there and your prices for your workshops.
no, it's not a shop page.
Oh.
So we just work with me, ask. Typically all work comes in 3 sizes. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm looking up here at an Alan Ross photo I traded with him. It's Ansel Adams and Imogene Cunningham. So
Oh, great.
yeah,
This is
he was a good guy. As you know, Don.
Oh, yeah.
You met him a couple times.
Yes.
Was there a recording of your presentation to this group? If yeah, there was. And so everybody can go to YouTube and see it.
Yep.
Oh, okay, great.
And dude, look at the website. Everything about me is there.
Okay.
And ask if you're interested, ask for the 12, I have 14-page overview of the course. So it explains it in great detail. It's $1,150. That is the tuition fee. And then you have your
That include
lodging.
room and board too?
You pay that directly to the lodge. So they handle the reservations for the meals and the meal plan and the lodging. But keep in mind, it is Canada, so you take 1/3 off, the listed price. So that helps.
And how many days are we at the lodge?
It's a week. We begin Sunday evening. The retired superintendent from Lake Superior Provincial Park graciously agrees to talk every year. So he explains the topography and the wildlife that you would see in the area, moose and wolves and bears. I mean, I've only seen a bear, I think once or twice maybe. And the caribou have moved north, but you're up in the boreal forest area. So it's great.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for allowing me to come back and talk about this.
Oh,
It
one
means a lot to
question.
me.
What's the weather like that time of year?
1 year it was so warm that I was running around in stocking feet or bare feet, and it can get down into the 60s during the daytime. So you would want to bring a variety of clothing layer. So yes.
What's the size limitation?
Size of how many people you mean?
Yeah, for the workshop, yeah.
Yes, 8. And then myself, my assistant for the past 3 years. Well, actually, he was a participant 3 years ago, and I watched him work, and I asked him if he would agree to be my assistant. And he was for the past 2 years. He came from coastal Maine, but he's going to be in Europe this year. So my nephew, Craig Bell, who's been a photographer his entire career, he's a photo director at a university, and he's going to be my assistant this year. So there are 2 of us and 8 of you. So it's a good it's a good mix. Yeah. I took a week-long workshop at the Ansel Adams Center in Yosemite from Charlie Kramer, and that was wonderful. And I'll real quickly mention my book. You can see some information about that on my webpage too. But John Sexton helped me with that, gave me some tips. So, and Art Wolf wrote copy for the book. So
Oh, okay.
I'm a really fortunate guy to be where I'm at now. So thank you.
All right. I think we should begin with our member presentations. We do this like every, 6 months or so. And I promised Martha she could go first since she is East Coast. And I'm going to show her images for her. Bear with me here. Now I have to. Give me one more second. All right, share screen. All right, Martha, you are on.
Thank you kindly for doing this, Stephanie. I really appreciate it. So the name of this shot is Avalon. Let's see. I went up. It's my habit to get up shortly before dawn and go out and shoot in the morning light as the light comes. I took this shot from an unnamed promontory across the road from the Azalea Hill parking lot. And I was able to look down into the fog rising over the lake. Oh, this would be over Alpine and Kent. And it was magical. There was all this fog as the dawn came. And I said to myself, why, that's the Lake Isle of Avalon. And there you go. Question?
Which state is this? Where are you?
This is Mount Tamalpais.
Oh, okay. Are you near Panoramic or just trying to?
My friend, that's the shot. I cropped it. That's all.
But that's like up between Alpine and Kent Lake, right? Or Alpine and Lagunitas?
So Sierra, you go up to the Alpine parking lot, park your car or your bike, cross the street, head up the fire road, see a deer trail off to the left. Take the deer trail, get to where you can look out over the lakes. And there you
When I
are.
was a kid, the fog scared me because I always wanted to crawl out on it, and I always knew that it would melt and disappear before I got to East Bay, and I'd fall all the way into the bay. So I never did it.
That's correct.
Beautiful.
Ready for image number 2, Martha?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Ah, nice.
Thank you.
Wow.
This is a composite that I created.
Really?
Yes.
It's not the way the bird looked?
That's not the way I looked, Sierra. You
just
see me? That's me when I was 3.
Oh,
You're holding a camera?
I'm holding a teddy bear.
you're
Oh.
beautiful, Martha.
Thank you, Sierra. And I put this image together. As many of you know, I have quite a study of egrets, especially with the light coming through the wings. So I took this particular image and I've been learning Photoshop a little bit. And my intent here was to show how I feel about needing the kind of protection that the innocence we have requires in these terrible times. And so you know how a bird will shelter her chicks under her wing. And so I wanted to show that. I wanted to feel sheltered by the bird's wing.
It's a beautiful
Question.
image.
Thank you. Gesundheit. That one was just in the Marin Society of Artists Fresh Art Show.
Ready for number 3?
Yes, please. Thank you. Stephanie's doing this for me because I'm overwhelmed by screen share and all this other stuff right now. This is the fluke of a 79-foot-long endangered blue whale who had been shipstruck and washed up on Agate Beach at Bolinas. That was 2017. Jim and I were visiting a friend and on Rose Lane on the Mesa, and she got a call and said, let's go down to Agate Beach. Typically, whales, when they are shipstruck, sink. It is unusual for them to be washed ashore. In this instance, the whale was washed up onto Agate Beach. As you probably know, the blue whale is endangered. A little more, so there were people there. The stench was unlike anything you will ever experience. All 79 feet of it.
How big is that actual part of it?
The fluke?
Yeah.
Do you see those humans in the back?
So it's about 5 feet tall, 6 feet?
No, it was a bit taller than I, and I'm 5 feet. In any event, the rest of the whale was, I took many photos. This was the simplest. Ship strikes are increasing, of course, as shipping becomes, as there's more and more shipping. And the Cal Academy of Sciences and the Marine Mammal Society, there's a website, there's a registration of different whales. And so this animal had been identified. It's a subadult female. She'd been seen 11 times in the prior decade. I posted this on my Facebook page and on our Facebook page earlier today. One of my friends who is a sailor, Tony Johnson, sent an article posted from NOAA that ships are trying to deal with avoiding whales by slowing down. But he points out it takes at least a mile to slow down a container ship. So if any whale and a ship are on a collision course, the ship can do nothing about it, at least under present conditions. There are approximately 2,800 blue whales that go up and down the California coast that is the greatest single concentration of blue whales on the planet. Questions?
Is it possible for ships to somehow put out some sort of sound that whales could respond to and get out of the way? To make them aware of the ships? I mean, I don't know.
I have thought of that, but I don't know whether, I think it would require marine biology understanding what signals the whales actually understand as danger, danger, get out of here, without causing physical harm.
Yeah.
You all might remember in the 1980s, Humphrey the humpback whale, who swam into San Francisco Bay and all the way up into the Delta.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was hard to get it out.
By the way, just a little bit of trivia. The right whale, the way it got its name, whalers named the whale the right whale because it was the one of the few species that would actually float after you killed it. Like you mentioned, most whales sink, the right whale floats. That's why they called it the right whale to kill.
When I was this event occurred in 2017, and I actually only had the intestinal fortitude to show these and post them this week. It was one of the heaviest experiences of my life.
I'll second the stench of a dead whale on the beach. It's overwhelming. You don't forget that.
I might suggest that Stephanie do time management.
Donald is timing, and I did we lose Donald? Where's Donald? Oh,
These
Donald,
are
what
such-
is the sound that you have for our buzzer?
Well, I think we're going way over. We're about double what we should be doing.
Can you tell
So
me
we're
you
gonna
had a
have-
gong or something?
We're gonna have to, well, okay, I can do that.
So you just need to pipe up, or some of
Yeah,
us.
well, not so many questions. It's 5 minutes includes the questions being asked. So Sierra, if you keep your questions a little bit brief, it'd help.
And maybe if you could give people a 4-minute mark or something during
That's
the
a good idea.
presentations.
Well, let's not, let's keep it reasonable.
Well,
think
I mean, the
everybody knows
4-minute would just be a warning that time's coming to the
I
end.
think everybody knows
All
what
right,
5
so
minutes is.
let's keep going. Let's see. Let's do anybody else that is up in the East Coast that's speaking tonight? I think we're good. All right. Let's do, I'm going to be random here. Let's do Bonnie Z, since we're on a underwater
Okay.
and
I'm gonna
let
try
me
to
make you a,
share.
I don't know if I made you a co-host. Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm gonna try to share my desktop. Let's see.
Green button, share screen on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Hi,
Yeah,
Martha.
I see it. 1 second. I'm gonna try. If I can't, I'll have someone else go. Let me just see. So it says,
Hit
The
desktop
green
one.
button at the bottom of the screen.
yeah, I'm on the green button. It says desktop, but I have a warning label. I'm not sure why.
I'm afraid that you'd have to go in and change your system preferences. So if you want to try to
Okay.
figure that out, I don't think we can do it while we're, or
Okay.
we can send it to somebody and I can show it, or you can, if you
Yeah.
want to send me yours.
Okay, why don't you go to the next person? I'll work on that. I'm in my system preferences under sharing. Oh, I might find it pretty quickly. Let's see. Media.
I'm gonna have Bonnie do it, and then we'll come back to you, okay?
Mhm.
I just want to stay on track.
Screen share.
Bonnie, our second Bonnie, Bonnie Marmer is next. And we practiced screen share, so I have high hopes for you.
You're muted, Bonnie.
Yeah, I'm hoping this will work.
It will.
try.
There we go.
Okay. So you had originally asked us to talk about the photos we had in the show. This was one of them. I called it the discussion. My husband and I thought it reminded us of our interactions when we have a discussion. But really, it's snowy egrets in the mating dance. But it's kind of ambiguous. It's hard to tell, are they arguing or are they interacting in some other way? What's going on here? But this is basically in my backyard. It's just behind my house. There's a little wetland. And this is where I've been focusing my camera most recently and really enjoying the bird life and all that goes on in this small wetland. So I've kind of limited my photos to pictures I've taken recently in this area. So for tonight, that's what I'm showing. So let's see here if it's going to show me the next one. It should work. It's been working, but let's see. Here's another one that it was taken in that same little wetland. And oops, let's go back. That was from the photo show. And I love why is it? No, sorry. So it's about the light. It's about the reflection. It's about the little ripples on the water and the splash. and just the gracefulness of these snowy egrets that just entrance me and really are favorite visitors to that little wetland. And so I think that I'm going to stick with that theme and show you some more. Here's one where I was focusing on the light and the water. I'm experimenting and learning about different shutter speeds, and I'm still learning how to use my mirrorless camera and all the settings. And so I really enjoyed how the water was in this photo, and so I thought I'd throw that in.
What kind of lens are you using? How big?
It depends. Some of them are 70 to 300. Some of them are 150 to 600. I also have a wide angle, and sometimes I use my iPhone. This shows the wetland on a busy day when we had lots of egrets. It's not like this every day, but to give you an idea how crowded it can be. This is a mix of snowy egrets and the great egrets at the same time. They just, something delicious was there. Some days, I don't think I included it, but sometimes there'll be great blue herons in there and night herons and green herons, and they'll all just be there along with ducks and of all different varieties. So it's actually amazing the variety of birds that we see in this tiny little wetland.
Excuse me, where is it? Which wetlands?
It's near Loch Lomond Marina in Somerville.
Okay.
So this is a great egret. I just love the preening and showing the egrets doing different things and preening and the way the light hit it, and then just the little feathers that have come off and sit in the grass there, and so just kind of a contemplative photo. Here you've got the breathing plumage, which I always love to see. This time of year, the breathing plumage is just something catches the eye, and in this case, that was just nice light and reflection again. Here, this was at sunset, preening and plumage and sunset. Nice light that captured my imagination here as I took this photo. Here we've got a great blue heron in breeding plumage. They look so different when they're in their breeding plumage and in different positions and in different light. They just take on a whole different personality. Here's one that's fishing. It's splashing. I sometimes catch breeding birds. The long-neck stilts like to hang out here, and for nature photographers, it's always fun to catch them when they're actually breeding. So that's a fun catch, nice capture for me. And then, of course, there's the geese that come, and we don't too often get the geese and the goslings in this little tiny pond, but we've been having more and more geese in recent years that show up here, and more goslings. Pintails, they're just charming. So this pintail just was hanging out for quite a while, and I got lots of pictures of this pintail in lots of different poses, but this was a nice crisp shot, so I like that one. This shows the view of the little pond there, and this is the view from my deck early in the morning. So when I wake up in the morning, sometimes it's the sky, sometimes it's the water, sometimes it's, just the colors. But I often will look out and see the birds on the pond and walk out to the pond.
You're not too far from the lot that's for sale, are you?
Right. The inlet to the right there is another place where lots of birds can be seen, and you can see that easily from the roadway. This is the pond, so when I wake up and I see that sunrise, I just hop on out to there, and sometimes the ducks are arriving, and here I caught them just as they landed.
I recognize the spot, Bunny. I really do. That's beautiful. We're at a little over 5 minutes now, so
Oh, okay, just a couple more pictures. This is right at the back of my fence.
These are beautiful.
Funny. Okay.
Yeah,
And
really
one of my
beautiful.
favorite shots, we get a lot of hawks. That's the wetland behind it.
Mating season.
Yeah, and there's here just the yellow legs. I did this because it was painterly. I thought it looked like a 19th century oil painting. And so I threw that in. And I'm now experimenting in the pond with different things, you know, like shutter speeds to make it look mystical and fun and different. And here I'm also trying the intentional camera movement because I'm trying all kinds of different things. That's just the wetland. This is right across the way by the inlet. And that's the inlet itself. This is what you see from the roadway.
That's Kinney Cove.
And this is just my final image of that inlet. Okay, with Mount Tam, a good marine image. That's it.
All right.
Nice.
Great. Let's move on to Bruce. Are you ready? Bruce, are you there?
You're muted, Bruce.
I just unmuted.
There you are.
You're
I'm
on.
going to go
You
to
are?
share screen. I'm going to set my timer out of respect.
Thank you.
Up, reset, start. All right. Let me go to share, and here we go. This was an image that was in the holiday show. I'm Bruce Forrester. This year is my 50th anniversary as a working professional photographer. This was part of a series I did back in around 1977 on the Sausalito houseboat. So it was a cast of wild and crazy people. I sort of fit in at the time. This is Laura Bell.
Is that Tri-X?
Yes, it's Tri-X. And this is the view that you would see if you're driving down Bridgeway in 1977.
Cool.
Whoops, pardon me. This is a shot from the top of that ferry, kind of giving the sense of place. All my life, I've specialized in people and event. So that's my thing. No landscapes really, but things that tell the story. These are some of the people I was hanging out with. Cece and Heather Wilcoxon, the late Bob Allerton. This is the legendary Larry Moyer. If you saw the film Senior by Henry Downey Jr., by Robert Downey Jr., about his father, this was one of the actors in his underground films. This is Don Arquez. He was the godfather of the Sausalito houseboat community. He owned a large piece of property and let people put their houseboats on it. This is Sarah. I'm a people photographer. That's my main thing. I love photographing people, want to have a connection. So this is Sarah and her pet bunny. This gentleman is the late Albert Morse. He was
I knew Albert.
a great man. He was the copyright lawyer for the artist R. Crumb. For kids growing up on the houseboats, they were all little pirates, and it was most of them really loved it and was a important time in their lives. Then the developers came in and wanted to gentrify and develop the area, and houseboat community resisted as best they could. Here's a blockade being cleared by the Marin County Sheriffs. After this, starting from 1980 to 2000, here's another photo from the holiday show. I was fortunate enough to be in the right place at the right time with the right skill set and personality, and I became the go-to photographer for photographing celebrities passing through San Francisco. So this is Vincent Price, Elizabeth Taylor, Marky Mark, the rapper, and Calvin Klein model. Now he's better known as Mark Wahlberg, one of the biggest names in Hollywood. Charlton Heston,
Wow.
down in his home in Bel Air. Anna Nicole Smith. She got famous by marrying a 90-year-old billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
The great Jane Goodall.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Mhm.
Oh,
And
wow. Kevin
Kevin
Costner.
Costner. This is from the early 80s or mid 80s, something like that. It's his birthday today.
Mhm.
Sophia Loren and Judy Collins. So this goes up to 2000. For the last approximately, over 25 years, I've been living half of the time on Maui. So this is old photos. This is what I've been doing in the last 2 weeks. I'm now on Maui. I'm nice and warm and comfy.
Recording in progress.
I'm taking lots of photos, though mostly just for fun. I'm mostly retired. This is a Grammy winner and heartthrob Lucas Nelson, Willie Nelson's son. I like taking photos that give a sense of place, set the scene. George Kahumoku Jr., multi-Grammy winner. Tia Carrere, Grammy winner. Daniel Ho, multi-Grammy winner. Canadian trumpeter Gabriel Mark Hasselback, a buddy of mine just playing at the local bar, and from that same evening. And my time's up. So thanks for letting me share this.
Wow. Very cool. Really
And
nice
Chris is
stuff.
going to be presenting to our group in April, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Great.
All right, our next presenter, Bonnie, are you ready to go?
I can give it a try.
All
Let me-
right,
let me
let's
see
go
if it
for it.
works. Slides as virtual background. Okay. Computer. Oh gosh. Oh, did something work?
Nope.
No. Oh, I apologize. Oh, maybe I have to press share.
If you want to send it to me in Dropbox, I can show it for you.
I do not have it that organized. I was going to open up my website and show you from there. Oh, I'm so
You want
sorry.
me to do that for you?
Sure. Let me get out of my thing. So it's loveyourocean.com. Okay, so I'm gonna just start my 5 minutes and I'll just
I think it's a great idea to use yourself to time yourself.
okay, sure. Okay. Tell
Love-
me
love
loveyourocean.com. And I'll set my timer on. Are you seeing the page yet or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay. Oh, there it is. And then where
Oh.
it says click to see photos, am I able to click that? No. Okay, yeah. Okay. So I'll start off by saying I'm actually up in Truckee right now, so I don't have my regular computer. So I apologize, I couldn't access my images right now. So I was gonna open up my site, which is a bit outdated, but I am a math teacher by trade. I am a underwater photographer and scuba diver by two of my absolute passions and loves merging. And if you want to click on underwater, okay. And then how about we start with Alaska, the one in the middle, because the images I had in the last show, the top right was one I call Ice Wave. Oops, no, it's not top right. The third one over from the top left. Thanks, Stephanie.
Right here?
No, the one before that. Okay, so I was on a liveaboard, which is a boat that you live on, you dive on. We did 3 or 4 dives, almost 4 dives every day. and there were 16 of us. Most of the people were either marine biologists or underwater photographers. And we were going through the Queen Charlotte Islands, the bottom portion of Alaska. And this was taken topside, so not underwater, as we're coming back from a glacier. And I call this ice wave. I really liked the depth of composition looking way back. I was on the ship, you know, passing by. But this image to me is global warming personified. You know, that's actually a piece of glacier. It's called a calf, you know, that has calved off. And, you know, you can see the forest and the mountains behind. So composition wise, it really struck me. And it also looks like a surfing wave, like you could, you know, surf under it. But, you know, the real story is really what's happening to our planet. And that's what I'm very much interested in. If you go to the middle column, the fourth one over, yeah, that one. So that was the other image I had in the show. And that's my dive partner. So this is called a split shot, which is actually quite challenging to take. You know, the lens, I have my camera in an underwater housing, and this is with a wide angle. I think this is my 16mm fix. And it's really hard to get the exposure correct underwater and also in those faraway clouds. So this was a bit lucky just in the ambient light. And in this image, the captain only let us go in the water for a few minutes, and he would not let us take the tanks, you know, normal scuba diving. So he didn't want us disappearing underneath the ice in the glacier. So so this was a really exciting couple of minutes. We could jump in, click a few photos. You had to be prepared. I had to think about it, think about the exposure numbers I wanted, and then quickly get out. What else is there? There are some underwater shots. So you can click on any image. Let's see what's there. The upper right one, I think is that me or a friend? That's my dive buddy. But I look pretty much like that. You look like an alien underwater. So everything is incredibly well nourished up in Alaska. That's why the whales go up there. So that's, you know, it's an anemone we're looking at, but everything was supersized. I saw a halibut that was 4 feet across. And I'm not kidding. I didn't even know what it was. The sand just started to lift, and rockfish that are normally, you know, I'm going to say maybe at most, you know, 1.5 feet long. I saw like 2 to 3 feet long. Like just the species were bigger up there. The very nutrient enriched water. And so this was one experience. The bottom left picture was a lucky shot of a orca whale and a baby orca whale coming up for a little breath. So that's also important to have. I think I just had one camera with me at the time, but to be able to get the camera out of the housing for the top side shots as you're going in between dives. Because sometimes it used to take me about 40 minutes to get my housing ready and grease the O-rings and make sure it's watertight. And so you don't normally yank the camera out in between, but this was just too exciting there. I think we also saw puffins and lots of humpback whales. So that's what this gallery is. If you go back to the very top, underwater there. We'll go to.
We're at 5 minutes.
Oh, there you go. So, yeah, so most of my underwater experience has not been in Alaska, but this is a fun little gallery to revisit. I've been very fortunate to travel to many places all over, and it's definitely a love of mine, a hobby. It's not my career, but it's something that just feeds my soul, and I love to educate others about. And thank you for your time.
How about you, Erica? Are you ready? And by the way, you can all go check out Bonnie's website.
Oh,
What was the web address?
oh,
again?
loveyourocean.com.
Yeah. Are you ready, Erica? Oh, you're muted.
I'm going to give it a try. If it doesn't work, then I'm not ready.
Okay.
So I'm sharing on my phone, and I do most all of my pictures on my phone. So I say most, but I mean all. And I just need to, I have 2 Zoom people on here because I'm going to look at it on a bigger thing. Okay, here I am. Where'd I go? And start video, sorry. And I decided to do some things about, am I sharing my screen on one of my people?
No.
Okay.
So double click it if you can.
No, I got it. And I actually know what I'm doing. It's hard to tell, but I do. So I'm going to start with the ones that I shared in the show, which Steph talked me into doing. I am not a photographer. I use my phone. I enjoy photography and I admire you guys so much that I wanted to hang out with you. So I'm going to start. Can you guys see that? That was my photo in Nicasio. Here it comes. If it's slow, I apologize. And please time me. And why isn't it coming up?
We can see the
Yeah, we can see it.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. So that is, as most know, very common photographer church that people photograph. And I turned it black and white with suggestions from a photographer. And this is my first print and my first framing and my first show. And that was really exciting, actually. And it came from a color picture. That was this that I liked a lot because it wasn't like centered but it showed a lot of stuff and it showed exactly what I saw. And that was really, really cool for me. And I did not set out to take these pictures. And I'm going to move along to talk a little bit about COVID in Fairfax. These are mostly taken from that first month or two. And I was working from home and I lived alone. And so coming out and doing pictures was really the only thing I was doing that was somewhat around people. But as you can see, it was very empty. There was even flags up on the lamp post. This one's in Spanish, saying to wear a mask, and this one has the child reaching, and the bubbles from the bubble guy. So there was some things going on, but mostly it was very it was very quiet. And so I started to kind of just take pictures and enjoy them differently. This was a tree also photographed quite a bit in Deer Park, and it has a swing on it. This one did. I just didn't show the swing part. And I started to get into photographing trees because they're cool. Again, all on iPhone, not edited too much. Here is a picture of Contratti Field, and it was empty in the spring, which is very unusual. But I went there and I got to see this. So to me, I thought that was super interesting. And it again showed what I saw, which is what I feel like photography or photos should represent, is what I'm seeing that I think is cool that I want to share with someone else. And then some of you will recognize this, which got me into photographing lamp posts, and I have quite a collection of Fairfax lamp posts and bridges. So I continue to do them on different days and different lights and doing different things. This was another lamp post that still to this day only has one lit. That was April 2020, but still there's just one lit there. Here's another one. I started to get into signs, which I actually collect signs too. And bridges in Fairfax are beautiful. And so I like this one. And where he's gonna admit Sally so she can join us. There we go. And this most will recognize from Fairfax as a bridge that's painted pink for some odd reason.
I like the length of it.
To the thank you, to the
We're
Marin
coming up
County-
on 5 minutes too.
Thank you. And there's the graffiti. There's some graffiti I found. Again, this was all in the first couple weeks.
Wow.
Going quick here. And getting to the very end.
It's great.
I like that.
He has a hole in his fence.
Ah.
Here's the last dog. And then I just want to share real quick, my neighborhood, every night at 7 o'clock, we came out and sung a song that was prearranged. These are my neighbors, and we stood on the porches and in our driveways and sung, and we picked a song and traded picking songs. We did that for months and months, and it was a very good connection for me with people. And I'm done. Thank you so much for including me in all of your adventures.
Thank
So
you
glad
for
you did.
sharing.
So
I
glad
think
you did.
great. Enjoyed
Stop
this.
sharing. There we go.
All right, now, Alan, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Hey, what's that smirking up there, man?
All
Okay,
right.
okay, looks like we're going to do the Polaroids first here then. So I've got two projects tonight that I've been working on since about September. The first image you're seeing here is just a basic Polaroid that I've done from, like, if you guys know what a Polaroid lab is, it's basically a piece of copy equipment, okay? And go ahead and you can do the next, we'll go to the next one. So what I'm doing with these, there we go. What I'm doing with these is basically taking the Polaroid, and some of these are from, digital Leica to, real SX70 to my phone or whatever, getting them into this lab and then developing them and then putting them into water for a few days face down and see what happens. And I'm coming up with these very, very interesting emulsion trips, we'll say. And I'm trying, there are other people that are doing these kind of things. It's called Polaroid decay. And basically, some people let these things go for months. Every image you're seeing here, thank you for switching them forward. These are all, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, and some people are totally destroying the images. And I'm trying to create a little blend between the ethereal and the real, somewhere in pairs. Some of you know I'm an animist. Donald brought me into this club because of this kind of stuff you're looking at least the trees and stuff, because how I live with it all. But this is just a nice experimentation that I've been doing with these Polaroids. This one here is not only a photograph, but I've even painted on it. So different things you can do with a with Polaroid, and then I will copy these and put these onto rag print, and it's just great at a big size. All right, so this is Stephanie. Let me back this slightly here. I'm trying to find my two original that were for the show. They should be down the bottom further then.
So do you
Okay,
scan
I'm gonna
these and
show you
play with
these.
them
Here we go. That one.
post-production?
All right, I'm going to show you these guys first and then go up. This was done at the show. These are basically Polaroids again. You heard the S at the end there, but what I've done is I've created Polaroid transparencies, and I've maybe worked on them to create these little striations within the emulsion, etc., through water, heat, etc. And then I will basically composite a couple of them together. Let's go up one here. I will composite them together. But as a Polaroid, I'm not looking at keeping them all flat. Okay, so they'll have little bends in them and everything, and I will shoot them from a weird angle with my phone and create a little extra side light. And then with some of these color ones that are what I've been doing this last 2 weeks, basically, then creating other little overlays. And so, this image you're seeing right now is probably 3 Polaroid transparencies, black and white, with added color, again, shot at a weird angle. Take a look at this one here. This one here is like, the goddess in the tree. I had to fight somebody for this image to say it was mine. Just a friend of mine, because we both went, "Oh," you know what I mean? It's like, who's going to take the first shot? And I won somehow. Anyway, it's an awesome image. And you can see the shadows and kind of stuff I'm doing. And if you look at this down on the edges here, you'll see some of the weird emulsion stuff that's happening. And these emulsions actually want to do things for me for some reason. They crawl up the limbs. They create more depth, etc. So hope you enjoy what you're seeing here. This is probably
signing off in about half hour.
That's fabulous, Helen.
These are
okay.
wonderful.
Good. Am I good?
Yeah,
That's the
Extremely
end. Good. Okay. Good.
just
you have the approval of Jen Bell also there, so that's worth
oh, I'm just blown away.
Yeah. He's a rascal. Watch out for Alan Wild, but he's a nice guy, but watch
Hey,
out.
we met out in the middle of I don't know where. We've been on TAM a couple times. It's been fun.
Yeah,
He knows me as a puristic landscape type. I consider myself I'm not a people person. Basically, I'm a tree
guy.
photographer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to check in real quick. I see Sally joined and I see Mallory joined. Are you two going to be showing tonight?
Hope so.
not.
No.
Okay.
No.
How about you, Terry? Did we lose Terry? Okay. Donald, it's your turn.
Oh, already? Oh, okay. Well, that took me by surprise. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, I have to rearrange things. Hold on. There we go. Can you see that sort of?
Yep.
All of it? Can you see all of that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the piece I had on display. I didn't sell it, so I'm disappointed. But I wanted to show you about Petaluma, and you know what that's famous for is its chickens. And here's an old chicken coop. I like this photo.
Great color.
You can just see the chicken farmer sitting there tending his chickens, and figuring out his expenses. And Petaluma is very industrial with the grain milling operations for feed, and here's a load going out or something coming in. I don't know. Milk also with all those cows. It's one of the dairies downtown. And here's a building of one of the dairies. I forget the name of this particular dairy. And here's a cow making milk. Face first all day she does that. I don't know what he does. But here's somebody getting fed also. I thought that was kind of cute. Where I was living in Petaluma was 5 miles west, right next to a couple farms and ranches. And I did that for about 11 months until about 5 months ago. And there's sunset. More cows. And this is across the street from where I was living. And also down the street, there was a man who had all kinds of old equipment. And we had a Caterpillar out in the back 3 acres. I don't know exactly who it belonged to. And I used to walk out to the end of the property every day, rain or shine, and try not to fall in the holes of critters would dig holes like the possums. We had lots of possums. And there's the moon.
Nice.
And another moon. I was using a very cheap, inexpensive camera. This is not my DSLR. This is the camera somebody gave me. It's an old point and shoot. So
Excuses.
What's that?
Excuses.
Oh yeah, okay. That's good. It was good enough for me at the time. And now I'm using my phone camera. But birds, and it had a nice zoom on it. There's a barn on Bodega Highway.
I love this one.
It's the Portuguese Holy Ghost Society. The very active membership of Portuguese people in the area. Is the guardian of the the guardian of the corn. It's right up the road on Eucalyptus Avenue in Petaluma. And there's a valley oak, I believe. Close up of wheat, something. I think is that wheat. Here's volunteer oats. We had 3 acres of this stuff, and that is a wild radish, and some type of flower, wildflower. And there's Sophie.
Nice cat pic.
Yeah, I miss Sophie. And let's see, am I stuck here? There we go. There's her shadow. And there she's cleaning up. I had to show some cat pictures there. So that's how did I do on time? I wasn't timing myself.
Oh, I should have timed you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You were 4.5 minutes.
Oh, good. I'm out of here. Thanks for the opportunity. Appreciate it. Okay.
All right. So what we have left is George, Sierra, Stephanie, that's me, and Sandy. And I thought I'd go last just because I'm using music and I'm indulging myself. And so I'm going to put George next.
All right. Do this. Let's see. Come on. Oh. There we go. Why is that? Oh, here we go.
There you go.
There we go. Is that showing up for you?
Yep.
All right. So just a little selection of what I've been doing lately. Love the dogs. And if Cindy Davis were on today, she would recognize this little dog who was, this was taken at her show, which, as I mentioned, I really highly recommend. It was great fun. Okay. There we go. And another lovely pup, a doodle of some kind here. And then every morning I start with coffee and I very often take a picture, and I'm always looking for a little different setting. What's the color, and maybe some props to go with. Here is the mouth of Lagunitas Creek. Just was really struck by these leafless trees. And after I passed by that point, here I am in Inverness with the wreck of the Point Rays, which is almost gone, folks. If you want to take a picture of that that boat, get it out there, because I think it'll be gone at the end of the season. We're just down to a pile of rubble. Okay, wildlife next, sort of in the sequence here. I love the wildlife. That was a weasel, and then I was at Drake's Beach recently and got to see this lovely coyote in the mist, in the fog, and then he stopped and obliged me by acting like just a regular dog. Every show here seems to need to have an egret or two, and here's the egret with his peanut gallery watching him fluff up. And this I thought was very interesting. I was picking up my grandson at the ferry, and there were a host of egrets on the lines connecting to the ferry. This guy was all fluffed up because I think he was just basically not having any. Didn't want the other ones near him. Las Colinas, one of my favorite places, and here comes the battleship of the water birds, the mute swan, and reflected in the water. I just think they are quite lovely, although not an indigenous species. Then I had an encounter with this lovely red-tailed hawk. Love the raptors, and here he is in flight, a juvenile in an unusual color morph for this bird. They usually have a white chest. Next in the bird series, we have pelican, one of my very favorite birds. I always think they're pterodactyls. And then I had the great fortune to have a really nice encounter recently with really with several kingfishers, but this guy was at Bolinas Lagoon and just stood still and let me get some shots, and then took off, and I got a nice butt shot as he took away. This is a different, same species, belted kingfisher, but here he is launching vertically. I've never seen this happen before, and it was just a lucky shot. I happened to have my camera pointed and clicked at the right moment. Never seen them do that. Ducks, another favorite, and I particularly love the mated pairs, and which you will often see with ducks. The male and female are very frequently together. This is the hooded merganser, one of the few species to me where the female is just as short as the
I can
male.
while I'm doing this.
In this instance, the male is the fellow with the black head with the white mark, but the female, if you look at that, she's got that spectacular updo. And here we have the long-billed curlew at Corte Madera Shorebird Marsh. And this photo, okay, not very clear. I was quite a ways away. I got as close as you can. Most kestrels are very shy. They don't like you to get close. So that's 300 millimeter lens and cropped in as far as I really could get it without overdoing it.
You're at 5, George.
Okay, thank you. And then I will just wrap up here in a minute, in one moment. The kestrel here has his prey in his foot. I thought that was a particularly interesting thing. And since I've hit the 5-minute point, I will exit and stop sharing. I've more than I could show, but I'll defer my time.
All right, Sandy, you are next. And then Sierra, you'll be after Sandy, and then me, and we're done.
Okay, I am going to share my screen here. I just put everything in a folder. So first of all, and I'm going to click on them. And they're not clicking. What is wrong?
You can select them all at once and double click them. You could show them all at once and just scroll.
How do I do that?
Command A,
What?
do
Say-
Command A. Do select all. You see,
Oh, there you
yeah,
go.
there you go. Perfect.
Now just double click.
on one of the images. There you go. It's going to open up. Perfect.
Okay, great. Okay, so I wanted to start with the ones that I had in the show. So this is a bouquet of kayaks.
Okay.
They're out of order.
That's okay.
They just so let me go to, this is the second one that I had in the show, and this is Toby's Feed Barn on the side. And I got out of my car and the sky was incredible. It didn't look like this, but this is the way it came out when I took the picture. And this middle wall is painted with Buddhas, with multiple Buddhas. And I would like to see if I can get on Photoshop and make those Buddhas be more prominent. So this I called Buddhist Clouds. And then last year, this was Richardson Cove, upside down.
Oh.
And where's the other one that okay, and Fibonacci was my other one from last year. Okay, so I'm focusing on, I've taken at least 300 pictures of Giacomini barn. For some reason, I love that barn. And so I keep trying to do things with it. Okay, and then the other landscape that I love, somebody in the beginning mentioned, or Jan Bell mentioned that composition is the most important thing. So I took this photo a couple of years ago. It was absolutely an accident. I took it with my cell phone, and in person, you couldn't see the man in the moon like that, but it came out on the photograph. And I've tried to work with it and make it be printable, but it doesn't have enough pixels. Whoops. Another landscape, Elephant Mountain with the clouds exactly in the right place, capping it. This is another, this was from the parking lot of Abbott's Lagoon. And I played around with colors, with tints and intensity, because what I'm discovering I'm interested in doing landscapes is making them abstract. And someone gave me a picture of Richard Mayhew's paintings. And what he said, he's 99-year-old Black painter who was born in Long Island. And his paintings of landscapes are like this. He says it's not a landscape, it's a mindscape. And I feel like that's what I'm going for. I love these colors. This is also Giacomini's. And then this I call the road home. Look at that sky. I'm interested in portraits too, so I want to be tutored by Bruce Forrester. I love this one. This was in the Ogden Museum of Art in New Orleans, and there's a permanent painting that they have there that this musician happened to be playing in front of. And this I also consider a portrait. These are the two flower girls at my niece's wedding. I love this. Sorry that I don't know what the order is that they came out in.
Oh, these are great. I like these.
Nice.
Thank you, Donald. That's saying, okay. So this was one of the few that I'm showing that was not taken with a cell phone, with my iPhone. This was in 1984 in China. when I discovered, this was in Kunming, which they had never seen Western people before. And so they crowded around our transportation and got as close to us because we were what they were looking at. And so I got to take some close photographs of people staring right into the camera. This I consider another portrait, but I call it stripes, and it's all different kinds of stripes. And this one is, I had wanted to put this in the show, but it wasn't ready before I didn't pick it up before I got COVID. And this was an extremely happy accident. I took this at Nick's Cove. This is my friend, William Atkins. And if you notice, the light is coming from the front and from the left side and also from behind. And the reason for that is that we were sitting outside, eating outside. The background, the original background had another pier and Tomales Bay, the water of Tomales Bay, and some fishermen in the background. And when I got home, I started fooling around with the iPhone. I took this with an iPhone. And what I discovered was that there's a way, if you shoot in portrait, there's a way of turning the background black or white.
You're
So,
at 5, by the way.
okay. And I just wanted to point out that this is also a self-portrait because I am reflected in his sunglasses. Oh, and I got a really big compliment, Stephanie, from Image Flow. They said that this is absolutely one of the best prints that they've ever done that was taken with a cell phone.
Mhm. Really nice.
Colors are great. Density.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you. Okay.
All right, Mr. Sierra, it's your turn.
Let's see. Let's go to that.
You know where the share screen button is?
Yeah, it's making me
Right on the bottom underneath. And it's green.
it seems to be telling me that I might need to quit and reopen. Up. There we go. You can see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Full screen. And I'm going to go kind of shotgun. So if it gets too busy for you, you can just close your eyes or whatever.
Is that water with the hummingbird? Is that water in the background?
Yeah, that's water
or-
from a sprinkler.
Okay.
I consider myself a professional snap shooter. Anyway, on and off and as the wall,
Nice.
including
Oh,
the
that's
gum
too
under
fast.
the table.
That's-
I tell folks that photography is just another form of autism.
Mhm.
That one last one I had in the show. As for the most important thing in photography, I say it's whatever you likes. And people like things, they don't like things, whatever. And personally, I shoot things that I find interesting and like me, or that I like. And a good friend of mine who's no longer around, I asked him his definition of an artist. And he said, artists are people that share perspectives with other people. And, artwork, what is art? It varies from person to person. Art can be a gentle wind, a soft kiss. Art can be a hit over the head with a baseball bat. It can be jarring, it can be comforting. These guys are little specks that's actually enlarged a bit. That's a very big rock. And these guys are all nuts. I try and get this is taken in pitch darkness. That's the backyard. That's also up in Yosemite. That's a friend's birthday party where she actually moving party where she had a parade of people carrying stuff down the street from her old house to her new house. The lights are climbers on the rocks at night in Yosemite. That's a dragon at the bottom of Yosemite Falls. If you look, follow the white kind of in the middle. It's Jack Irving and my riding partner on my pony on my horse. These are two 90-year-old friends, waterfall and climbers and people watching the climbers. This woman was in the parade last year in Fairfax. She's 100 years old. Waterfall in Yosemite, same waterfall. Fairfax Festival. I love shooting people, especially over time. You know, the change from year to year. There's Jonathan. I love shadows and reflections. I fell in love with her. You know her. That was in the city. I love these boats every time I see them. That's kind of a hopper print. These guys were on their motorcycles on top of Tam. I was on my bicycle. I got them to pose with my riding partner there. They were in their leathers. That's my bike. I ride through there about once a week. We are amazing. That's some people doing a wedding shoot that walked past me at Fort Mason. Dickens Fair, guy's hat. The bees at the Marin County Fair. Some friends playing bocce ball. That's the water on China Camp at high tide flood zone. My friend David. Another waterfall. But some climbers walked by me while I was setting up to take some of those shots in the pitch darkness, and that was their headlamps. That was New Year's morning on top of the sunrise on top of Tam, a little crow. That's Mallory. I love that little bee in the lower middle of this shot. This is last weekend out at the bay. I like the tail disappearing into the beak. This is hanging with the Sufis, meditation retreat, singing, dancing. It's a dog up in Portland, a little window. That's my wife. That was just playing with the lens. It's the mountains in BC, a barn in BC. It's my friend Vince, and this guy's a cowboy. These guys live up in the sticks in BC. Lots of textures, lots of colors. That's my friend John. That's a beehive that I removed from a house. That's top of Tam. Always remove the shoes. That's my 9-year-old friend's whatchamacallit drawer. It's Michael. That's Joe. That's the dog, you know, just like Maybridge. It's like, you know, making sure that, you know, when it's galloping, actually all 4 legs leave the ground. That's Yosemite, a couple of satellites in a plane. That's another sunrise from the top of Tam. That's Half Dome, cables going up. Climbers going up the backside of Half Dome at night. Top of Tam, my riding partner, Mendocino Woodlands, tree by my house, Columbine. This was in a Monsanto march in the city a few years back. That was sunrise, Northern Marin. That's Koi Pond that used to be at the Embassy Suites. I love the reflections in Kevin Mead's eyes. That was a Fairfax Festival. And this one is fast food at night in Oakland. China Camp. Fred Cadoni talking at the Bike Museum. The Away Station. That's what happens if you click the wrong thing when you're trying to edit things and discard them and they end up all opening on your desktop.
Oh, God.
Snake Dyke. That's almost the one I showed at the show, but I couldn't find the one without the people in it. I love the screens. I call these ones entering the twilight zone.
We're at 6 minutes, 30 seconds.
And I'm done. Thank you.
Those are great, Sierra. You got some
Your
favorites in there.
pictures are really fun. and I love your portraits.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice. what you
I
did.
like your landscapes too.
I
And I
love
mostly,
that.
I pretty much entirely shoot with a 28 to 200. Just it gives me the versatility to shoot people or not, or catch a bird
Yeah,
with
I
morsel in
love
his mouth.
a series of
You're
things that
you're
go
obviously
after
shooting.
eating the mouse.
You're shooting all the time, which is awesome.
Some people don't like that.
To each their own.
So many memorable shots, the dragonfly and the opening hummingbird in the sprinklers and the green eye of the little girl. That was so cool. Really
I
good.
tweaked that eye a little bit.
Yeah, I figured, but it was great. Nice images.
Hi, Terry. Finally made yourself shown here. Hi. Oh, you're muted though.
Hi.
Are you going to share?
No.
I think I'm the last one. Is there anybody else besides me?
Did Terry go or does he want to go?
Yes.
No, I'm not going to go.
All right, I still get nervous, so forgive me. I'm gonna do two shares here, screen shares. These are the two shots that I did at the show. And I ended up picking shots that I figured I would end up bringing them home with me and not selling them. So I ended up printing things that I wanted for my house. This is my cat, Blackie. And below him, this was a shot I had taken at Ropes and Harrington while I was doing a headshot for somebody. And I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to share again because I'm going to do a little photo montage. I was supposed to go photograph the women's or the counter protest to the Walk of Life this weekend, but I can't go because my sister's in town. So I am now gonna, I did like a little tribute to women. And I'm gonna share here. Hope this works. Hope if the sound isn't working, let me know. And it says 3 minutes and 43 seconds, so I should be on time. Robert, you probably remember this song.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Wow.
Yay.
A lot
We
of
did
locals,
it.
nice to see.
Those are
Fabulous.
wonderful.
Nice
Fabulous.
pics.
Great
Awesome.
lighting in your studio shots. That was done at your place?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Oh, a lot of the studio shots, I guess, were done at your place. I love the lighting
Yeah.
on a lot of them. Yeah.
Yes.
How
We
did you
did.
find so many women?
They were just jobs I've had over the past, I don't know. I think there were some old ones in there too, but just throughout time, I just grabbed a bunch because I was so sad that I couldn't go to the women's march. So I had to do something.
That's
They were
beautiful.
beautiful.
for you.
You'll
Take
have
your
to
sister to the women's march.
She's not the type. I would love to do it, but I wish she would. But this is actually the one that Terry, you're going to the counter protest, right? The
I'm doing, I think both of them actually.
there's the Walk of Life, which is the pro-lifers, and then we were supposed to shoot the counter protest, which was
Where
very,
is it?
It's at the library, at the San Francisco Library. That's
Oh.
where the rally's at.
Tomorrow about noon or
No, Saturday.
Saturday? Okay.
Yeah.
Supposed to rain.
that?
Oh, that's too bad.
No, rain or shine.
I know it's maybe. Yeah, I remember being at the Women's March, 2017, January.
Well, that was the one that poured, yes.
Yeah,
The big one.
yeah.
Yeah, no, there's no cancellation on this. It's rain or
I know.
shine.
I'm so
And it'll
jealous.
be rain.
So bad. So the last thing that we usually do at our meetings is we have our photo challenge. And since we didn't have a presenter, I went ahead and made one because I've never made a photo challenge. So I'm going to share my screen yet again. And I'm hoping we can all go out and shoot. I'm hoping that you don't use something old and that you go out and actually shoot and convert it to black and white. And
I don't like the convert them to black and white because you're insinuating. I'm shooting black and white film.
who is that? I can't see who's
This Alan.
Black and white.
Okay, well, I
This
guess
month, get out and shoot.
masses.
Take some photos. Convert them to black and white.
That's what it says.
Okay, Alan, you got me.
I'm just being technical.
The world is black and white.
The world is black and white.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right, we did it. We made it.
Thank you for putting this together, Stephanie, and for guiding
That
us
was,
and
it was
organizing.
It's great to see
Yeah,
everybody's
Stephanie, that
stuff.
was great. Thank
Yeah.
you.
well, so what's the next one going to be? And is it going to be the 15th or the 22nd?
The next presenter is going to be my good friend here, Robert Vente, who's here tonight. This is his flyer. I'll share it with you. It's awesome. His work is,
Stephanie made it.
I made the flyer, but this is Robert's work and it's just brilliant. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a mix of a lot of photojournalism and then some portraits that I did for some magazine covers like Sammy Hagar and stuff. So it's going to be fun. He was great to photograph.
Oh, I bet.
And what is our assignment for next time? I missed it.
Shoot in black and white or
Oh,
turn it into
that's
black-
it. Not a subject. Just
whatever you like in black and white.
okay.
Sorry, I wasn't very creative.
That was going to be
I
daunting.
love your black and whites, by the way. You do a great job with that.
Who are you speaking to?
Stephanie,
Oh,
You.
you know, Stephanie.
that was fun, you guys.
Well, that was great. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Ollie. It
everybody.
was all of
It's all
us.
good.
Thank you. It was wonderful.
Yeah, thanks a lot,
everybody.
guys. See you at the
Thank
next one.
next month.
See
Nice
you
to
all
meet you, Jen.
Thank you.
See you on Facebook. Be sure and post. Get out and shoot.
All right. Bye-bye.
It's midnight here, so I'm going to head
Good
out.
night.
And
Go to
it's
bed.
probably cold there too.
Yeah.
See you, Jen.
Thank you.
I'll
It was
post
wonderful.
this evening's presentation online too.
Oh, great.
I saw
Bye,
lots
everyone.
of good photos.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
to all
folks.
of you, and congratulations on all the good work that you've done.
And we'll hear Bruce's presentation in April.
Wow.
Great.
Aloha, Bruce.
Bye, everybody.
Aloha.
Bye. Thank you.